I had a near-death experience recently. I actually almost died. My body was going into septic shock in the hospital. I had an extremely severe case of pneumonia, but I'm doing phenomenal. But this pneumonia, I didn't think it was pneumonia. Pneumonia never crossed my mind. I thought I had a cold, and I rarely get sick. Matter of fact, I have an award in my other room that I got for coaching for 8 years and never getting sick and never missing a practice, never missing a tournament and a game. And so, getting sick was like, I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm gonna beat this because I have a strong immune system. I hardly ever get sick. And then it just kept going every day after day, and it just kept getting worse. 100-degree fever, 102, 104, 105-degree fever. But during this whole process of being in the hospital, my consciousness, or whatever you want to call it knew it, because when I would I was in so much agony and pain in that hospital bed, but when I would close my eyes, instantly I was in another place. When I was in so much agony, so much pain, and my body started going into the septic shock point, when I closed my eyes, I would leave the hospital room. My wife was there. She never left the hospital. She never left my side the whole time. She stayed in the hospital. Even though we lived 5 minutes away, she stayed in the hospital the whole time. She camped out. But when I would close my eyes, she didn't exist. The room didn't exist. The walls went away, and I was in this other place. And this other place was so peaceful and so incredible. There was no pain. There was no agony. Now, my eyes were closed here, but in my whatever this state of being was, my eyes were open. And I'm looking around, and I could see things, and I was shown things. And it seems as if I was shown things that I was interested in. Like I saw different faces of different types of hominids over millions of years, different types of plant life. I can travel and visit sites. I can go to different jungles, wherever I wanted to go, whatever I wanted to do, it was available to me. It was like an explorer's dream. And when I would then force my eyes back open, I'd be back in my body, back in severe pain, back in agony, with all the oxygen stuff all over my face, going up into my nose, and the heart monitor all over my chest, and the tree of all these bags of solutions and whatever coming into my veins. And I'd be in complete pure agony. And then I say, man, is that real? So I'd close my eyes again, and I'd reappear back in that place again. And it got to the point where about a fourth or fifth time doing this, it wasn't as if they spoke this to me, and I say they because it was like this echo of voices, but the voices were like saying this hymn or something. It wasn't like words like we're talking right now. But the understanding that I got from it was, you can stay here, and you can be here, and you can do whatever you want, or you can go back. But if you go back, it's going to be very hard. And I really didn't even think that long. All I could remember was my wife, my kids, everything I have going on. She would be, tore up if I left her. Now, we just got married. It ain't even been a year yet. So I said, no, I'm going back. And that's when I forced my eyes open for the last time. And when I said I'm going back and I forced my eyes open, I was back in my state of being, my body, and back in agony and everything. I looked over at her, and then I tried to close my eyes again to see if I would go back. Never got back again. Never got back the next 2 days in the hospital. Never got back. I would close my eyes to be just closing your eyes, just black. But never got back to that place, whatever that was. Never got back again. I was in a place where there was peace, tranquility. I was able to see things and explore. I was able to see faces of different hominids over different time periods and different types of trees from the Cambrian era and all these other different eras going back millions of years. It was so crazy. It was like an explorer's dream. And I opened my eyes, and I would be back into pain in the body again. And I would close my eyes, and I'd be back in this other place instantly. No pain, breathing fine. Everything seemed phenomenal. And I said, is this real? So I think I was having almost like a near-death experience, an NDE or something similar to that, where I would close my eyes, and I was literally gone from the agony and the pain. And then it got to a point where I was doing it so much, and they said, well, and I can only say they because it's hard to convey the exact way the communication happens.
It's not vocal, right? It wasn't words. Vocal. It's like a knowing inside of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
right?
when you know you're on the other side, because I've had those before. It's a knowing. When my dad visited me, who passed away, he came and he floated to me. He put his hand on my shoulder, and I understood immediately. There was no movement of no lips. I didn't hear any words, but I understood.
Just the knowing.
Yeah.
And they were like, you can stay here. You can stay here, or you can go back. But if you go back, it's going to be hard. And I remember I said to myself, I'm going back to my wife.